our guest doesn't even need to be introduced. We have been waiting so long and are so excited to finally meet the great Ellis Paul. And for so many weeks, we've been using your book in many different ways. We've been learning it to practice reading with fluency and expression and reading for an audience.
Oh, good. So you're reading it out loud?
Yeah.
This morning, Heathcote second grade is very happy to welcome renowned folk singer Ellis Paul to do a workshop with our students. Ellis Paul has written a book for children called The Hero and You, which contain mini biographies of many famous American heroes. And he has also written songs to go along with each of these biographies. During the past few months, the second graders have used this book as a teaching tool to do many types of activities, including practicing reading fluency and expression, working on biography units, and even doing some songwriting themselves. So today, Mr. Paul will be sharing his songs with the students and talking about the people he wrote about and singing some of the songs with them.
Everybody's got a story of all their troubles, all their worries. Tell me yours, you cannot bore me. I love to listen to you. All your bumps and all your scratches, all your holes and all your passes. It's you, it's true, you have no match. There's a hero in you. And make the hero you are. With your brains, your aim, and your battle scars. Everybody's got a tale of how they chased a great white whale. Some succeeded, some just failed. Trying's what you gotta do. Or in the trying, you feel you're flying. The whole wide world's beneath you lying. It's you, it's true, you held the night. There's a hero in you. You make the hero you are. With your brains, your aim, and your battle scars. So use your brain and do some thinking. You could be the next Abe Lincoln. Use your muscle, try to hustle. You could be Muhammad Ali. Use your brains and dance on pumpkins. You could be his adorable. It's true. There's a hero in you. You make the hero you are. With your brains, your aim, and your battle scars. Everybody's got a story of all their troubles, all their glories. Tell me yours, you cannot lose. There's a hero in you. Wow! I am amazed that you know that song. The first song I want to sing to you is a song called Chief Joseph. He was an Indian chief. And the cool thing that he did, now some of the people in the book you're going to know, like people like Ben Franklin. You probably heard of Ben Franklin, right? You know what dollar bill he is on?
And he invented the penny.
He invented the penny?
He discovered that lightning is electricity by flying a kite from the thunder. Yeah.
Yes. You are a genius. But Chief Joseph isn't Ben Franklin. He's an Indian chief. And he's famous because he decided that he didn't want to fight anymore. So he had this beautiful speech about peace and nonviolence. And because of that, people like Martin Luther King, you know who that is, right? Yeah. And maybe Gandhi. Do you know who Gandhi is? Yeah. He's another peace guy. They were inspired by his story and his speech. So I'm going to teach you that song, and we can sing it together, all right? Here's the trick. It has choreography. Does anyone know what choreography is? That's right. It's dance moves. Put your hands like this in front of you. You're going to make a sun. From where the sun now stands, I will fight no more forever, and we will all remain together. From where the sun now stands. Awesome. Let's try it. I am a child of the Wallowa Valley in the wilds of Oregon. I am thunder rolling down the mountain was born a chief's son, and this pierce on my people. Looking class is my friend, and we raised our families in the western hill till the white man's closing in. Closing in. Here we go, make those sons, ready? From where the sun now stands, I will find no more forever. We will all remain together. From where the sun now stands. Perfect. For 10,000 years the land was ours, if any can own the land. We believe no earth, no wind, no trees are the property of man. General Howard, he came to find us. His government would not agree. So the land was sold to the white man, and my people had to flee. My people had to flee. You ready? Here we go. Make your sons. From where the sun now stands, I will find no more forever. We will all remain together. From where the sun now stands. Sing it again. From where the sun now stands, I will find no more forever. We will all remain together. From where the sun now stands. Perfect. In the Bear Paw Mountains, just miles from freedom's hands, we sold our bones, we sold our homes, we surrendered all our land. Now what is the price of freedom? What is the pay increase? And what do we surrender now to live a life in peace? Live a life. You ready? Here it comes. Peace. From where the sun now stands, I will find no more forever. We will all remain together. From where the sun now stands. Sing it louder now. From where the sun now stands, I will find no more forever. We will all remain together. From where the sun now stands. Now sing it back to me. From where the sun. One more time. From where the sun. Awesome. That was so amazing. I loved it. I loved it. And I think that guy's very important. That's one reason why I wanted to write about him. Not everybody knows about him, so I thought if you Google him when you get home, you could find out all you wanted. But some people are a little bit more famous, like Woody Guthrie. Does anyone know who Woody Guthrie is? Who is Woody Guthrie? He is. He's a singer, and he's a songwriter, and he's a folk singer. And he wrote one of the most famous songs of all time. Do you know what the song is? What is it? Yes!
What?
It's This Land Is Your Land. Does everybody know that song? Really? As I was walking down in a highway, I saw above me the endless skyway. I saw below me the golden valley. This land was made for you and me. Ready? Here's the choreography. This land is my land. California to the New York Island, to the redwood forest, to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me are poised this sounds like a song that's about how beautiful the country is, and part of it is, but it's also about the fact that not everybody has access and ownership of the land, and Woody thought everybody should have it. So he wrote a verse that goes like this. As I went walking, I came across a sign, and on that sign it said, no trespassing. And on the back side, the sign said nothing. That sign was made for you and me. Here we go. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, to the redwood forest, to the Gulf Stream line. This land was made for you and me. Let's see if you can do this with just your hands and not your voices. You ready? Well, that was easy, wasn't it? All right, we'll do it really fast now, but you gotta sing along too. Ready? Here we go. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, to the redwood forest, to the ocean wide. This land is made for you. Even faster. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, to the redwood forest, to the ocean wide. This land was made for you. Wow, that was so great. Now we got to do the song that's about Woody Guthrie. Do you know the song about Woody Guthrie? Have you heard that? Okay, so this one's new to you too, huh? Well, Woody used to jump on trains a lot, so in the song we have to make sounds like a train. And there are two sounds that I want you to make. One is this one. Try it. And then one is a really loud whistle. Ow! Like that. Oh, you got it. Let's try it. Woody's jumping on a train, a boxcar in the rain, under one big sky. What's the dust out of his eye? He's out here seeking truth. His guitar's cutting loose. He's a dust bowl stray on a ribbon of highway. Oh, 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 he's an oaky locomotive, riding, singing, thinking, freedom, fighting, sketching lyric pictures of this land. He's a poet, picker, writer, painter, mystic, prophet, entertainer. Woody Guthrie working, man. Let's hear those whistles. Bowl, a red dirt cowboy with a childlike soul. From New York to the Rio Grande, he kept on singing all the way to California. This land is your land. He's an oaky locomotive, riding, singing, thinking, freedom, fighting, sketching lyric pictures of this land. He's a poet, picker, writer, painter, mystic, prophet, entertainer. Woody Guthrie working, man. Let's hear those wheels now. Under California skies, Hokies were broken, or just getting by. And the orchards round the radio was his voice and it's giving him home. He's an oaky locomotive, riding, singing, thinking, freedom, fighting, sketching lyric pictures of his land. He's a poet, picker, writer, painter, mystic, prophet, entertainer. Woody Guthrie working man. Let's hear him singing the whistle out. Now this person that I'm going to sing about is called Rosa Parks. Do you know the song? Yes. Right. Well, let's see if you guys know this song, all right? I'm going to see if I know this song too. You're going to have to help me. Yes, it wasn't a school bus, it was just a regular bus. And she was not a school kid, she was an older lady. She was in her 20s, I believe. Well, the first part starts with this. The wheels on the bus, they go round, round and round. Oh, the wheels on the bus, they go round and round. Now, back in 1955, in a corner on a city street, there's a bus on the corner with police cars and a woman sitting down in her seat. Right? You know what's right, you know what's wrong, the signs are coming down. It's been going on too. You know what's right, you know what's wrong, the signs are coming down. It's been going on too long, too long. Now, do you know this part? Rosa got arrested because a white man asked for her seat and she wouldn't give it up, right? Martin Luther King helped form a boycott. No bus would ride the bus, no blacks would ride the bus until it stopped, right? And you know what's right, you know what's wrong, the signs are coming down. It's been going on too. You know what's right, you know what's wrong, the signs are coming down. It's been going on too. Sometimes the best way to fight for a better day is sitting down, not fighting, sitting down for your rights and sit down, stand up, sit down to stand up, sit down to stand up for your rights, sit down to stand up, sit down to stand up, sit down to stand up for your rights. You don't need no violence to make a change. Rosa made a change and a movement came where people fought for their civil rights. And work in school and when you're traveling, it doesn't matter if you're black or white or any color. You know what's right, you know the signs are coming down. It's been going on too. You know what's right, you know what's wrong, the signs are coming down. It's been going on too long. That's great. Rosa did a lot of things by just sitting in her seat. She ended up changing the entire world. It took some time, but the world is still changing because of Rosa Parks. So we're very, very grateful, and that's why she's in my book. That's why I think she's important. I'm so glad that you guys know about her. That's pretty awesome. Jackie Robinson. He was a football player, right? No, you're wrong. You know what? Let me tell you something. That's right. He played football too. He also played basketball, and he also played. That's right. Did you know that Jackie Robinson had the longest long jump in the world in 1942, and he was favored to win the Olympics? But there was no Olympics. Do you know why? He couldn't go because of World War II. They canceled the Olympics. So he decided that he would try baseball instead. And he became one of the best baseball players in the world. But because of his skin color, he couldn't play in the major leagues because he was black. And then finally, the Brooklyn Dodgers decided it was time to put him on their baseball team. So he's a very, very important guy. Do you guys know this song? Yeah! Oh, good. Jackie Robinson was a man who swung the bat. And he could 'cause he was so good at it, he became much more than that. He was the first man of color in the game. There's a big road leads into fame. There's a world that is begging for change. In the dugout, living the child out, they're calling his name. Jackie Robinson, Jackie Robinson, Jackie. You changed the way we played the game. Play ball, right?
Yeah.
You know the next verse? Baseball, bat ball, basketball, long jump and track. He was a world-class athlete, nobody was gonna hold him back. Beautiful, you guys are great. He was the first man of color in the game. And the big roadies in the fame. A world that was struggling for change. Gave him a shout out, gave him a shout out. They're calling his name. Jackie Robinson, Jackie Robinson, Jackie. You changed the way we played the game. Play ball, right? Play ball. Play ball. Play ball. All right. That's pretty great. Yes, honey.
How do you play
Rachel
Rachel Carson?
Carson. Yeah, you want to do that one next? If you know who Rachel Carson is, can you raise your hand? I'm going to ask one person. Who's Rachel Carson?
When the plane stopped the plane from dropping chemicals onto the plane, she stopped the bugs. People when they got in the crash.
She helped educate people that pesticides, when they were on the ground, were going into our water supply and in our food supply and in our air, and they were actually going into humans and hurting us. Not only were they hurting animals, which she loved, but they were also hurting us, right? Now you guys probably know this song better than me, because I haven't played it. You're the first school that's even asked for this one. Most of them just want Jackie Robinson. Rachel went walking in the woods at twilight, talking to the animals, listening to the trees. I love that. She heard the whistle, just a little songbird. She wondered, wondering what could she bring to give a voice to the silence of the spring. One day came the big bulldozers, the planes dropping chemicals, the people cutting trees. Rachel saw the bald eagle suffering high up in the canopy to the sea. She wondered, wondering what could she bring to give a voice to the silence of the spring. Don't think more songs, but I want to hear some questions too. Yes?
Did you like music when you were younger?
Yes, when I was in 3rd grade, I started playing music. I played a trumpet when I started. And when I was 21, I started playing guitar. And when I was 40, I started playing piano. So I took my time, but I kept on learning and learning and learning. And starting in trumpet was a great place to start. Yes?
Who is your hero or the person you look up to?
The most?
Yes.
Wow, that's a tough one to pick one. One of my favorite heroes is Woody Guthrie because he does what I do, and I'm kind of following in his footsteps in a lot of ways, trying to educate people with songs and traveling around the country singing them. So I would say Woody Guthrie is one of my favorite heroes. Yes?
Who's your favorite person in the book?
My favorite person in the book? It's probably between Ben Franklin and Woody Guthrie. But on most days, I like Ben Franklin, especially if I see a $100 bill. That's pretty awesome. Yes? I do. I work with other people. I sing with a lot of different people. I have a piano player, and his name is Radislav Lorkovich. It's very hard to introduce him because his name is so hard to pronounce. I just call him Jim. I got tired of trying to say Radislav Lorkovich.
When Ellis is answering
Yes.
the question, put your hands down.
Write your songs.
Where do I get the ideas?
Yeah, write.
Well, you know, I like to sing about things I know. So if I get inspired about somebody or something, like I just wrote a song about the Empire State Building. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
It's a building in New York, right? But it's got cool history. And I wanted to write a song about it, so I had to go to Google and look it up and study about it and watch videos and learn its history. And then I could really feel like I could write about it. I had to do a lot of research. Yes?
What was your inspiration?
For that song?
No, what to be a songwriter?
Oh, well, when I was your age, I loved to draw. How many of you like to draw? I also like to write stories. How many of you people like to write stories? And I also loved music. How many of you like to play music? Well, some of you are like
I
me.
love to sing.
And you know what songwriting is? Songwriting is it's like using words to paint pictures. Using words and music to paint pictures. That's why I started this, and that's why I love doing music. Yes. You play piano? Awesome. Do you use your thumbs? Not yet? I just started using my thumbs while I played piano. That's the tough part. Crazy thumbs. Yes.
Where did you learn to sing?
I learned to sing in school. Just like you guys. I started in around 1st, 2nd grade, started singing a lot. I sang at home with my family. Yes.
I play guitar, and why did you want to play more than one instrument?
Well, because, you know, you write different songs on different instruments. Some songs won't even come out of this guitar. I have to play another guitar because it just sounds slightly different, and it forces different songs out. And when I go to a piano over there, I don't play as well on piano because I'm new to it, so I leave a lot of space in between all of my chords. Yes?
When did you write the book?
Well, I wrote the book really when I wrote the CD. This was 2 years ago, 2012. You would have been in kindergarten, maybe. So you would have been in preschool. Yeah. Yes? It's you. The first song I ever wrote, I was 20 years old. No, actually in 7th grade I wrote a piano song. But it just was music, it wasn't words. It was just music on piano. Yes?
Who's your favorite hero?
My favorite hero?
Hero.
Shiro. I saw that on somebody who bought a book, wanted me to sign a Shiro. Is that a girl?
Yes.
Hero. Wow, a Shiro. I like that. That's easier to say than heroine. My favorite hero, who's a girl. My favorite Shiro. I'm learning a new word, is probably Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell is a songwriter like Woody Guthrie is a songwriter. And she writes some of my favorite songs, and she's very inspiring. Yes? because I like the names of how their names sound. Some people ask me, why did you choose these people? One of the reasons why I chose these people is because I just love the way their names sound. Like I love the word Nellie Bly. Isn't that a cool name? I love Albert Einstein and Jackie Robinson. Those are easy names to sing. That was part of me choosing them. I wanted to bring as many girls and women as I could into this. I wanted to share races, so there are American Indians and blacks and whites. And I'm going to do another book of this with Asians and Latinos and more blacks and more whites as well. Maybe even an Eskimo. Who knows? Yes. To play, sometimes I get a little nervous. You want to ask me if I was nervous today? Yes. I was more afraid than I ever have been in my life. You want to know when the most scared I've ever been was? Playing. I sang the national anthem at the Boston Celtics. There were 15,000 people there. And get this, it's really loud in a stadium, right? There are so many people. I'll tell you the story. Imagine that. Imagine 15,000 people, and it's really loud. And then the announcer says, "Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of our national anthem by Ellis Paul. And you know the stadium was really loud, but suddenly everything stopped. Everyone stood up and you could hear a pin drop in this enormous space. And I walked out into the middle of the basketball court by myself, except there was a guy with a camera right in my face. And I walked out and I looked up and my face was on the Jumbotron. And when I started to sing, I was really loud and it came out really strong and I could hear my voice and it spread out and out. And then it splashed against the back wall and then it came back to me and I could hear myself singing in the room. And I knew that 15,000 people were hearing what I had to say, and I didn't forget the words. That was the most important thing. Don't forget the words because it's so embarrassing. And you know what? If you forget the words, it's on camera. It took me about 6 months to write the book and the CD. It took about 6 months. And I have another one coming out. It's a Christmas story that's coming out in September. Yes. Yes, I'm going to make a book, and it's called The Night the Lights Went Out on Christmas. It's coming out in September, and it's about a neighborhood like yours, where all the houses in the neighborhood are competing against each other for Christmas decorations. And then the lights go out on that neighborhood. That's what the story is about. Where's Caitlin? Is there a Caitlin in the class? Is that you? I'm going to give you this book. You know why? I accidentally signed it with your name in it. And now I can't sell it to anybody but you. I think you bought a music book. Did you buy a music book? I'm going to give you the book and the music book. Okay? Only because. And before we go, I want to just thank. How do I say your last name? Onofre. Can you give her a round of applause for bringing me in? This has been so much fun. Now, old Ben Franklin, I think we should thank him. He was a poet and a diplomat. He put a key on a kite till he saw the lightning strike. What's shocking is he did way more than that. He put bifocals on her nose, made a better wood stove, put lightning rods on all the homes in Philly. He helped the Declaration pass. He made music out of glass, fought the British, and said lots of things that were silly. Oh, Ben Franklin, I think we should thank him. Was the world's most industrious guy. He said early to bed, early to rise. It's a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. He put bifocals on her nose, made a better wood stove, put lightning rods on all the homes in Philly. He helped the Declaration pass. He made music out of glass, fought the British, and did lots of things that were silly. I say, hey, hey, Benny, they put you on the penny, though you wrote this with your might. Say, hey, Benny, they didn't put you on a penny, though you wrote this with your might. Well, a penny saved is a penny earned, so they put you on $100 bill. That's lots of money. But vocals on her nose made a better wood stove, made lightning rods on all the homes of Billy. He helped the Declaration pass. He made music out of glass, fought the British, and so lots of things that were silly. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming today. Thank you, Lisa.
Before we say goodbye, there are a few people we have to thank, besides Mr. Paul, of course, but also our parents and the PTA who helped Mr. Paul come here today.
Thank you.
And we're here tonight to tell your parents about the visit today and how much you loved it, how much fun it was. And I think the best way you can show your appreciation to Mr. Paul is by applause.